See if we get any notifications. Make sure y'all can hear me. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Sometimes you inspire yourself. It's one of my original creations, t-shirts by Nikki. You know. Okay, I see it a few years back. Been making t-shirts for, what are we in, 2005? Maybe 8 years. So it's always been a side hustle. T-shirts by Nikki. Check me out. Hashtag. I'll come up. Some original creations. You know, just custom-made items, sneakers, hats, posters. Just using my creativity to the best of my ability. Being able to make a couple of funds from it has been a plus. You know, wife, mother of 4, so many years of children. January will be 28 years for my husband and I. Just a little background. We homeschooled our last kid, the youngest, who was 11. We've been since the pandemic. You know, it's been challenges. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been boring. It's been all of that. Hi, party people. It's one of my grown ones. Big babies.
Hello.
We snugly.
I'm still a big baby.
We still big babies. Love it. I'm a big baby. I can't wait for my mama to come too. So hubby too. We all big babies. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What is about the female biology today? We're gonna be in the kitchen for a little bit. Maddie's coming out to grab her lunch. Hubby's coming home for lunch if you want. Made some grilled cheese. I just fatty. That's right. You know, you just wake up, nobody wants to, you know, eat right away. This is my lunch. It's just a sumo smoothie, boiled plantain. Boiled plantain, and a lot of nuts, almond butters, pistachio cream. What else did I put in here? I think I put cashews, usually a lot of nuts, a lot of flaxseed. So this is usually my lunch, a nice smoothie. Trying to be mindful. I did a fast in October. It's definitely showed a lot of great results. So I'm trying to keep up with that behavior, eliminating a lot of things, because as you get older, the hormones go crazy from the beginning, ladies, you know, as young as 8. So, you know, it's been a process all these years. But the later on years is something unique. We're going to talk about it today. All the different hormones that we are challenged with. Okay? Again, I am not a professional. I'm not a professional, you know, but take some notes. Ask your physician. This is about education, empowerment, and clarity. But the knowledge you will gain today will allow you to make better decisions, read your own body, to understand your own signals, and to take your power back. Because I'm noticing a lot of lack of clarity answers for relief, you know, menopause, perimenopause, postmenopausal, thyroid issues, high-low cortisol. There's so many things. So salute to anybody pulling up and popping in. How are you? James, good to see you. In the kitchen. You know, we bringing it back to the kitchen where we were never really taught, you know, but we can learn to do better for our bodies. So I'm all about nourishment, nutrients, minerals, you know, answering questions. You guys assisted me with some knowledge that you may know. It's all about just sharing the knowledge. I'm a homeschool teacher, homeschool mom. So I had to create this science of biology for these young women growing up in this house. 2 are grown, and we have a 6th grader. So, you know, trying to give them all the information I possibly can, because, you know, we are all not guaranteed longevity. So I'm trying to do better and make sure I stay around some grandkids, you know, maybe some great grands and all that, you know, already almost 50 years old. So salute to everybody out there trying to, you know, consider wellness. It's a gradual process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, because a lot of us have got in this position gradually over the years, just poor decision making, when it comes to nutrition. And a lot of it is because we didn't know no better. You know no better. Some of the elders were trying to, encourage eating vegetables and, all of that. But we were young, dumb, wasn't listening. Some of you guys listen, so salute to you. Appreciate it. But many haven't. We see where our society is now. Over here in the U.S., it's a bit sickly. A lot of illnesses and weight issues, thyroid issues. It has a lot to do with our food. So we're going to talk about it and how it affects you individually. Because, it's not a one-size-fits-all method. So if you like what you're hearing and you want some clarity to just nourishment and things like that, we in the kitchen medicine cabinet, she said. So, join me. Sometimes the youngins will be in here. Wait for Maddie to come down and get her lunch. This is mine. But we're going to introduce the hormones they don't teach us about. We're on a lot of support groups on Facebook. Matter of fact, let me share it. Give me a moment. Let them know I'm live because it's crazy. And every day I get up and those are the questions, the inquiries, the seeking help, knowledge and wisdom, just about what's happening. What the hell is happening to my body? So we're going to share it. Let me find my live. Appreciate y'all. You see me post in the back. Some girl Lucy, psychiatric help. 5 cents. The doctor is in. Take 5 cents. For $1. T-shirts by Nikki. I must have prophesized this. One of my, creations earlier in the years. I've been a vegetarian for the past 2.5. No meat. So I had to find other ways to get protein in my fats and healthy stuff because my body was responding to the process and the sugar and the abuse, lack of hydration, not doing the things that we're supposed to. So you look like you know how to do taxes. My husband does the taxes, but thank you. I could if I needed to. Not a problem. Hello from Russia. Good to see you in the building. We're going to be talking about nutrition and the clarity of female biology. I do have a couple of chapters for men, but today we're going to talk about these ladies. And y'all welcome to join in the conversation. If you have any questions, concerns of any kind, please share any things you have been experiencing. But we're going to discuss the hormones that they didn't teach us about. How many of you guys took a high school reproductive class or something like that? Health and wellness. Let me know if you took one. Did you get anything out of it? Just trying to find out some stuff. Let me see. Post this in a couple groups. Salute to all of y'all. I appreciate you popping in for a second. If you like what you hear, go check out the content. See if there's something you might enjoy or someone maybe, considering natural healing and wellness. Tell them to come on over. Hit that like button and subscribe. Live. I might go live on Facebook too. Why not? Hi, Maddie. Maddie comes down to get her lunch. If you want to chill, you can. You want to occupy your time while you have lunch. That's fine. Come down. Yeah, okay. You can watch me on the big screen in the projector and do some studying on your Chromebook. Okay? Love you. You got something to drink? Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, baby. All right. Yes. Somebody said, you at work? You're going to be doing this again? I sure will. Hit that notification bell because I'm always in the kitchen and I'm never sure when I'm going to just pop on. So let me get this link. I have another request for the link. All right, Kim. I know a lot of y'all might be at work, but you can always catch it on the replay. It's always appreciated, to say the least. Because it don't cost nothing. It's free. We get monetized and YouTube will pay me for sharing this information. But right now it's free, you know? Even when they monetize me, donations are always welcome. $ T-shirts by Nikki. I'm excited. We're going to get a new introduction into the family this weekend. So salute to my family in New York City. I'm coming to grab a kitty. Coming to grab a kitty. Hey, Sherry. How you doing? Calming Amster Edits. Cooking? What is going on here? Kitchen medicine cabinet, Mrs.SheSaid. Some lessons going on. I'm going to introduce some hormones that they don't teach us about. A lot of people are struggling with, illnesses and thyroid and hormone fluctuation and are not clear on why it's happening and what to do. So this is a channel where you can find some of that. And again, I'm not a medical professional. So take notes, ask your physician. This is about education, empowerment, and clarity. But the knowledge you will gain today will allow you to read your own body, to understand your own signals and take your power back. So that's all I'm trying to do. When you're raising a lot of females, it's something that I would say us ladies have to do. I would never want my daughters to come to me and inquire about their female biology and I just don't know. Because if I don't know, I'm going to go find out. And it's a lot of books, a lot of articles, a lot of tutorials, a lot of videos, a lot of OBGYNs, sharing their experience as being a physician. So, you listen, you learn. There's a lot of natural herbs that I will be introducing in the future. So join us. A lot of people are getting back to that ancestral healing. Many of the things that come from the earth are beneficial to your body. So I may introduce some things you may not have heard of, and you're welcome to share whatever information you got with me because I like to learn. I'm good, and how are you doing? I love your shirt. Thank you. It's T-shirts by Nikki. I've been in business for maybe 8 years. A lot of custom made items. You can hashtag T-shirts by Nikki in your Google search engine, and I'm sure I'll pop up. And if you like what you see, hit me up. I always love custom work. Okay, so if you have an idea or something, I do hand-drawn items on shirts and hats and sneakers, but I do have a heat press machine that I also create things as well. So that's what we're going to talk about. When we talk about womanhood, everyone mentions estrogen and progesterone. You know about it. Estrogen, progesterone, but it's more. My sisters, there's so much more. They're controlling hormones that have been hidden from us, whose whispers guide our moods, our energy, our drive, and our very survival, as females. These are the hormones society keeps secret. So today we name them and we understand them and we learn to listen to them. It's not easy. So, the first advice I would give any person is to pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your body. It's really, really important. It's crucial to everything. I'm going live on Facebook. Get my people over. Just put clarity session. Moments. What are we feeling? What mood are we in? How y'all feeling out there? Where y'all from? Let me know where you at. You in the US, the UK, Asia, Russia? Let me know. Let's go with thankful. We feeling thankful. We feeling all thankful. Say hello, Facebook. My sister Red Lipstick Vibes is in the building, where the vibe is always positive. You know, we always trying to have sessions of teaching. You know, as you get older, you learn a lot, right? And you want to teach others. So if it don't apply, let it fly. And if it helps you, I'm grateful that you may have learned something. But those hormones, so many that we weren't taught about, and some that are stressed. Everyone mentions estrogen and progesterone, but there's more. They're controlling hormones that have been hidden from us. You know, those whispers, they drive a lot. Your mood, your sleep. So I've been seeing a lot of people talk about cortisol. I guess they come from the doctor, and the doctor says your cortisol is high. Your cortisol is low. Cortisol. It's the stress hormone. It's the stress hormone. We are in a nation where most of us are pretty damn stressed. How do you think that hormone is going to be stimulated? Be it too high, too low, it's not good. It needs to be managed and regulated. And it's not an easy fight, especially if we're not nourishing our bodies properly. So cortisol, the stress hormone, it's produced by the adrenaline glands. Okay? Your adrenaline glands. It regulates your energy, your metabolism, your blood sugar, your immune function. It regulates a lot. So if this cortisol hormone is not regulated properly, you're going to experience a lot of things. Overprotection. That means too much. Leads to belly fat, insomnia, anxiety, hormone disruption. And many women have that hormone disruption. And that disruption can drive you crazy. I'm just saying. Listen to your body. Fatigue, that jitterness, the cravings, or sudden mood swings, cortisol. That's the cortisol. You know, we have testosterone as well. It's another hormone that's, you know, not really spoken of as much for us females, but there is a female form of testosterone. It is produced by your ovaries and your adrenal glands. It regulates your libido. Did you know? Regulates your libido, energy. So mostly all of them affect the energy, all right? Bone density, muscle tone, assertiveness, confidence. This is the female testosterone. I think I got a lot of that. I think I may have had a lot of that. Just say it. But this testosterone female form, it regulates a lot of that. So consider low libido, low energy, bone density is thinning, muscle tone is not there or lessened, that lack of confidence. A lot of these things can be stimulated by imbalance of the female form of testosterone. So the imbalance may look anything like low drive, hair loss, and lack of motivation. Yeah, ladies have the same testosterone gene that causes the hair loss, just like the patterns of men balding. We'll talk about this. You won't hear it from your OB. So just take some notes and consider asking questions to your physician. You know, only you know what's going on with your body. So that female form of testosterone has a lot of regulating abilities. And if it's imbalanced, it can cause low drive, the hair loss, and lack of that motivation. All right, so you got to listen to the fatigue, the low sex drive, and low motivation. Maybe that testosterone form, female form of testosterone. You have the T3 and T4, this is the thyroid hormones. This stuff is serious. It's serious, so please, you know, do your research, speak with your physician, and ask some of these questions. So this is a test that you should absolutely have your OB/GYN test. I would suggest getting an endocrinologist to better manage your hormones, right? Because they're the hormone doctor. They have more clarity to give you versus your OB/GYN will just, here, take this patch, take this, and it may not be working for you specifically. So, you know, Consider that. So that's the T3 and T4, your thyroid hormones. Okay, it controls metabolism, it controls energy, it controls body temperature. Hot flashes, heat spurts, rush of water profusely at any time, any moment. It's crazy, you know? So that T3, T4 hormone has a lot to do with that body regulating temperature, okay? Controls the mood too. All of them, all of these hormones control the mood. So if they're in balance, you may be in a horrible mood, okay? The imbalance mimics menopause symptoms. I started my menopause symptoms at 36. I'll be 49. It's a long time. It's causing a lot of stress when you don't know. You don't know how to fix it. So it's just a little information for you, that T3, T4. Insulin, a lot of you hear about it. It controls the blood sugar. You know, the high spikes from sugars, starches. It disrupts estrogen and cortisol balance. Let me say it again. Insulin controls your blood sugar, okay? High spikes from sugar, starches disrupts estrogen and cortisol balance. We're all walking around disrupted because the sugar and starches, we eat it in abundance. So you wonder why you're going through this horrible fluctuation. It may have to do with what you're eating, okay? Melatonin. People ain't sleeping. We ain't sleeping. We taking over-the-counter melatonin pills or liquids, giving it to the kids. This is what we're doing. Low levels impact your cortisol. So you have low levels of melatonin, you're not going to sleep through the night. So imagine how your cortisol is going to be in the morning. Disrupted. Low levels impact your cortisol and reproductive hormone rhythms. The rhythm's off. The rhythm is going to get you. The rhythm is going to get you. Get your rhythm back in line. It's more than just one thing you have to do. It's not just about eating. You got to have movement. You got to have calm. You got to put the phones down for a little bit. Have some quiet. Sit in the sun. If you work from home, please put your desk in front of the sun to where it's beaming on you most of the day. Have a little protection there because that beam off of the window can, be too much. Monitor that. And that's the melatonin, man. It regulates the sleep cycles. There's so many herbs that have a lot of melatonin in it, or enough for you to be able to sleep. When I first started the fasting, I was doing golden milk. It's just like oat milk or nut milk with turmeric and a pinch of pepper. I add a little cinnamon for the sweetness. And that's it. Nice and warm. Sip it in the night. And it helps to stimulate that melatonin. And it really did work for me because sleep, yeah, we got to the rhythm of that. I was sleep deprived for probably a year and a half because I wasn't taking any HRT from having a total hysterectomy, which caused my hormones that were already messed up to fluctuate even worse because there's no reproductive system. So the only hormone fluctuation I'm getting is from my adrenal glands. All right? So the more I nourish my body the right way, my body will be able to regulate those hormones. There's no one size fits all. Again, all of this is about you paying attention to your body, knowing what's happening and how these hormones are affecting everything. And if it stays off balance, it will affect other organs in your body, right? Because nothing is moving around properly. This is another hormone that they don't talk about, prolactin. And you have it. It's not just there when you're pregnant. It regulates milk production. It's a bonding hormone. And it regulates the menstrual cycle. So if this is off balance as well, a lot of women may not be having a large supply of milk production, after they have a baby. The imbalance can cause irregular periods and a lot of mood swings. So if you have a lot of irregular periods and you're dealing with the mood swings, the prolactin may be off. All of these things can be tested with your OB or your endocrinologist. You know, your body is speaking to you constantly, speaking to us. We just haven't been taught how to listen to it. Hot flashes, mood swings, night sweats, cravings, fatigue, they are all signals. They're all signals. Signals we're going to decode today a little bit, okay? Biology always speaks. We just need to learn how to listen. And ladies, y'all know sometimes that's hard. That's hard. As we get older, a lot of us think we know it all. But there's always room for growth and learning something. Transitioning from girl to woman has been unique for myself, and to watch our daughters go through this and watch this youngest go through it. Now, so, you know, from the first signs of puberty to full womanhood, our body is orchestrated by a symphony of hormones, a symphony, right? So if there's one note that's off, it's going to sound, going to hear it. It's going to resonate loud. Every stage is written in your cells, your organs, your very DNA, like it's there. You know, society has kept these truths from us, but we are taking them back, you know. So biology is becoming from girl to woman. And ladies, we all gonna go through the stages, okay? So being prepared and just understanding a little more clearly of what's happening, you know, maybe the effects won't be so stressful, okay? Most of us grown-ass women already did the puberty thing, right? Ovaries are awakened, the estrogen rises. That's what's happening. You know, the physical signs would be breast development, the widening of hips, body hair, the menstruation begins, okay? Emotional stages, child, mood swings, new sexual feelings. These things need to be talked about. So if they're getting a period 8, 9, and 10, 11, these conversations need to be had age appropriately. And you are best equipped to have them because you know your child. You know your child's level of understanding. Use inferences to make your point. You know, you don't have to go all the way in and tell them all the details of actual sex. It's the biology of it all. Walaikum salam, brother. Appreciate you pulling up and popping in. Giving a little information, female biology over on Kitchen Medicine Cabinet. So, you know, I had to go live over on Facebook because a lot of my support groups over here. So if y'all are watching this or you pop in, go over to YouTube and subscribe, please. I appreciate y'all. I got 8,000 followers over on Facebook. So, you know, let's journey on over to the Kitchen Medicine Cabinet or Tribe Called Harris over on YouTube and subscribe. You know, it's free. I'm not selling anything. Just want to share some knowledge and wisdom. Again, I'm not a professional. I've worked in the professional field, though. A lot of caring for people, humans. It's been my job since I was 14 years old. So it's a lot of people. And I've learned a lot. So I'm grateful to all the lessons and the teachers. And I'm still getting some lessons, man. I was gifted from one of our village members with, look at the dried okra right off the local garden. Dried, fully packed with seeds. Seeds I can grow, seeds I can grind and ingest for medicinal properties. The shell as well. Can soak it in water and drink you some okra water. Very healthy, ACK. These vitamins, just very nutritionally packed. So, you know, do your research and check it out. But I was blessed yesterday going out to karaoke that someone thought of me. So my sister, thank you. I appreciate you. And, you know, I'm going to make good use of it. And if I can share it with anyone. Sis, want me to send you some? I'm going to send you some in the mail, okay? With those granola oil. Lord have mercy, child. Boop, boop, boop. I hear a husband walking in from the office. And I'm grateful. Came home for lunch. Hey, babe.
Hey.
How you doing?
Right, you good?
Is it still snowing?
A
A little bit. Maddie's like, yeah, I can't wait to go best of the snow. I don't think it's going to snow that much. But we can make a snowman. But we will be outside making a snowman. I like snow people. Hi. You need something?
No.
Okay. So yeah, those physical signs between 8 and 14. 8. 8 years old. It's early signs. You may not be getting the menstrual, but the estrogen is building. It's starting. So mood swings, certain things you're going to start to notice developing. Why it matters. It's the first time hormone development, but mood, sleep, and energy. And I've watched it happen. I've watched it happen with these girls. Different stages, different times. So it is not a one size works for all. It is definitely different.
Grilled cheese, you said?
Yes, I did. You want some salad? Okay. At 9. Yeah, some of our females have started periods very, very young. 9, sis. I was 13. And just growing up having friends who have experienced very young. Like I haven't had mine. And they're like, oh my goodness, I haven't had mine for this long. Like, it's definitely different. It's definitely different for all of us. Hubby a plate. Not like a nice warm grilled cheese and some salad. Arugula, green spinach, green leaf lettuce, carrots and onions and peppers and apples all up in there. Let's warm that up. I wanna play in the snow. That's my lunch. But between 8 and 14 is the first time these hormones start to show their little heads and just, a lot of things that they do. Sis Ellis was brought on by trauma. Sorry, sis. Sending some love and light over there. Trauma is no joke. It absolutely can affect everything that's going on in your body. That's a fact. Giving yourself grace, forgiveness. A lot of these things are not easy. We say it, but it's not actually easy. But society's failures, the silence, the whispering, period talks. Shaming comments like, cover yourself. Don't be bad. No explanation for why this is happening biologically. Huh? Girls, families, moms. No explanation on why this is happening biologically. That's the most important part, biologically. Why is this happening? We have robbed our girls over the last, I'm 49, so 49, 50 years, not explaining. Maybe more than that. Mothers before them didn't tell them. They weren't aware. They didn't know how to explain it. So we get that. But now's the time to change that. A little salt and pepper in the salad with a little olive oil. So here to just give a little knowledge, make it a little easier. If you have a little more clarity, maybe you can share with your daughters, your nieces, or anyone that comes around you to, inquire. Because that's one thing. When ladies get around each other, we talk. We talk. But we talking about the right stuff that's going to help us. Get this on, baby. I'll be back. bring my peppers inside. They're still growing. They turning red. They coming along. They finishing up. I can have a cucumber. Everybody's having lunch. You're welcome. I gotta go by one of my clients and take care of some things for her in a little bit. Yeah, we've been shamed, man, for the periods, and wasn't given proper information we need. So it's been something to watch. And having to learn. No explanation to why biologically, the fertile years. We dancing in the kitchen. Menstrual cycles. The menstrual cycles, they regulate fertility, they regulate estrogen, they regulate progesterone, LH, FSH, testosterone, they all work in harmony. One is off and one is out of whack. Your body's gonna be feeling crazy. Hey, sister, Kisney is in the building. Salute to you. Talking about the clarity of the female biology. It's talking about the early onset of girls and menstruals, and how we were shamed and we weren't talked to about what's happening to our bodies biologically. So kind of going over that. I had to make this lesson in second grade for Maddie. So every year we kind of build on it. So it's a little bit more clear. She's really starting to understand. So, the menstrual cycles regulate the fertility, the estrogen, the progesterone, the LH, the FSH, testosterone, the female form of testosterone. It all works in harmony. Ovulation is the heartbeat of womanhood. Without understanding it, women cannot predict fertility. They cannot predict mood changes or energy patterns. Ovulation is important. It was scary for me growing up because I always had that pain during that. And I didn't know what it was. Go to the doctor scared like I had something wrong with me. He was like, "You're ovulating." I was probably like 22. So had no clue about what that was and what's happening. You know about having sex and getting pregnant, but actual biological terms for these things, no, not at all. So, putting it together has been a passion for me. So I'm not a medical professional. Please take some notes. Ask your own physician. Do your own research. There's a lot of books out there, a lot of tutorials, a lot of OBs who have YouTube channels, discussing all of this. So, just trying to give you some info. And lifestyle matters. It really does. Your lifestyle matters, man. Diet, exercise, sleep, stress. These are not superficial. They directly affect hormones and fertility. So working that night shift for years, it's going to have some effect on your body. Body's supposed to rest at night when the moon is high. I'm just saying. So we got generational ignorance and shaming. Salute to me. I have a channel called Shame Sunday on YouTube where I expose a lot of shameful shit that should be condemned and not celebrated in our society, especially when it comes to our kids. So if you want to, you can go over there and check out that content. I'm just saying, if you like it. But that generational ignorance and shaming is something mothers and grandmothers often didn't know themselves. How can they teach you about you and what's going to happen to you when they didn't even know themselves? So I give them grace for that. It's not an excuse, but I do give a little grace. But when I come across the elders who don't know, who are willing to learn, and they're like, holy shit, like that's crazy. And I didn't know. It is a form of ignorance. So, girls were shamed for curiosity, for touching their bodies, for exploring sexuality. Now look, they're crazy out here. Popping them Plan Bs, getting pregnant like crazy, like it's nothing, ripping their reproductive systems out because of too much pain and not being geared and guided to natural healing or health and wellness, like changing so many other things. Some people are genetically, prone to some things, but a large majority has a lot to do with what we ingest, our environments, and lack of knowledge. That shit is scary. So, the lack of protection from predators, like inside and outside of the home, the lack of knowledge, the lack of information, the lack of the biology of the body, and making our girls comfortable to have these conversations caused a lot of that. A lack of protection. So informing and being able to, articulate clearly what's happening to the body, what will happen, will definitely help them to protect themselves. They understand that there's some things that shouldn't be. It's clear. And I heard so much of that growing up. They don't know. Especially if it's a person you love, you don't know no better. So there's a lack of protection when we don't provide this information. And there's a lot of consequences. The confusion is what I see right now. Just so much confusion of what's happening to their body, how to deal with it. Lack of protection, predators inside and out the home. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, that lack of context to what's going on is definitely going to cause the confusion and fear, mistrust of the body. We definitely grew up mistrusting our body. You have no clue. Don't hand your body over to somebody and you don't even trust what it can do. We got to listen to our body. There's an abundance of apps to track your cycles and moods. Like the apps track your libido, your energy. Get you a tracker to help. The more you can pay attention to what is affecting these things, you can regulate it better. So you got to watch for irregular periods. You got to watch for heavy bleeding, extreme fatigue, sudden weight changes, hormones. It's 7 of them, not just progesterone and estrogen. So when I'm on these, support groups and everybody, well, what do you take? What about the other hormones? It's no just over-the-counter pill to just say, here, cortisol hormone, here, take this. It's what we're doing with that stress hormone. Yeah, we're not feeding our bodies. We're not sleeping. We're not moving around. We keep a lot of stress in our lives, whether we can remove them or not. A lot of us carry a lot of stress in our lives, so it will cause irregular periods and heavy bleeding and fatigue and sudden weight changes. So learn what's normal for you, not what TV says, not what society says, not what your friends say. You have to learn what is normal for you. So having 4 females in this house at one time, that was something that I needed to point out. You have to pay attention to you. I can only pay attention to your body, but so much. Like, you can't be mad at your period. Just can't. You should know that it's coming and be prepared at least 2 days. It's a 2-3 day window of when it's going to happen, unless you just always been irregular. And again, if that's the case, something's going on. You're not nourishing your body properly. You're not giving it the things that it needs to function at its best capacity. And sadly, we weren't taught. Not shaming anyone. We weren't taught. That's why I started this channel, to just bring a little clarity, because the doctors won't sit you down and have these conversations. I've been through it. Started perimenopause, premenopause at probably 36, 49. Now I'm postmenopausal. So learned a lot. Learn what that's very important, what the proper education should look like for growing girls to womanhood. This is just my opinion. You can do your own research and decide what's best for your child. Age 7, and I say way before that, by 3. If your child is speaking and can articulate the basics of body anatomy, by 3. By 3. If they walked into the bathroom with you, mom, and you're on your menstrual and they ask, that's the time to have the conversation. I don't care how young they are. Mommy's on her menstrual. And when you menstruate, you bleed. Some of us bleed between 3 to 7 days, some of us longer. But if mommy takes care of her body, she won't bleed as much. I don't think that's that hard. But again, like I said, none of us were taught how to do that. It just happens, and we're aware or we're shamed. I'm just saying. So by age 9, understanding the hormones in simple terms, like just the 7 hormones that I just gave you definition to, clarity to what they do and how it will affect you. They should be aware of that. You know, Madison was probably as young as 7, and I'm like, okay, your happy hormone may be, you know, fluctuating off a little bit. She would wake up miserable, just be in these funky moods, and it starts 8, 9, 10. Progesterone might be a little low. There's a lot of T's that help to regulate these things, not change it, not do, regulate. Just regulate it to be normal so they won't have as many effects as these. But understanding the hormones in simple terms by at least 9. At least 9. Because by the time middle school come and the hormones start kicking in, fucking is what's on them. I'm sorry. Y'all don't want to hear that. But girls are sexual too. Girls are sexual creatures. And they need to know what their body can do, what they should and shouldn't do, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. And it should come from you before anybody else, right? Because then when they go out into the world, into school, and they hear from their friends, and this friend was molested, and this friend had this happen, like they're learning context from everybody else. And you never know how they're going to perceive all of that. It's a lot. So by 12, learning about menstrual hygiene. But if they get their menstrual before that, absolutely, it needs to be in the bathroom with them. Shower with them if you have to. Be comfortable in your skin. If they see that you're uncomfortable in your body, your titties, your stretch marks, your rolls and curls, oh, they're going to carry the same weight. I don't care how much you big them up. I don't care how much you tell them they're beautiful. It's going to carry over. It's going to carry over. So that menstrual hygiene is important. Consent before 12. Before 12, 5. 5. Can mommy come in the bathroom with you? You know, like even when you're in the bathroom and they want to butt in and burst in and all of that, that's when consent starts. You let them know this is a boundary. Mommy's on the toilet and mommy needs mommy time. And this is not a time for you to come banging on the door. This needs to be considered. Boundaries start really, really young, and consent is important. May I open your diaper? Can I change your diaper? Can I change your diaper? It's okay. It's okay to do these things. Say vagina, say breasts. Making up names will cause shame because it's not clear. It's not what it's called. And if they come across the predator and they use a different name, they'll be able to articulate what was said to them. And you know they didn't learn it from you. So that's very important. By 15, this is what society says, but I'm younger on all of these. Age 7 should be 3. Okay? Age 9 should probably be 7. Age 12 should be 9. The way it's set up on here, it should absolutely be earlier and younger than this. By age 15, fertility cycles, reproductive health issues like fibroids, PCOS, and endometriosis should be discussed. Yeah, no, earlier than that. You talk about all of that by 10, 11 years old, not for fear, but for clarity and understanding. Clarity and understanding. Because when you get in the doctor, it's an elimination process for us women. You go through all these tests and you go through all these visits and this is that. And it's not that. Oh, well, maybe it's this and then maybe it's that. That alone will cause your cortisol to be stressed the hell out. So all of this information is important. If you're a homeschool parent, I would say 7, 8, 9, depending on your child. Watch this video. Go to Shame Sunday with Mrs.SheSaid. I have vaginal care and reproductive wellness episode. And gave a lot of information there. And you can actually sit and watch it with your child. You can stop, pause, and ask questions. That's what we've done with Madison. So I thought it was very important because she's 11 now and it's just going down. So age 18, introduction, at least informing, to what perimenopause is, hormonal tracking and body literacy for adult life, because you mishandle it, you'll see the effects. You will definitely see the effects, mishandling. The biology of becoming is not optional. Ladies, females, women, it's not optional. Okay, if you have longevity in your life and you live to 70 years old, the biology of becoming is not going to be optional. Sorry, you can't slow it down. You don't know when it's going to happen, just like death. You don't know shit. Okay, it's written in your DNA. It's written in your DNA. It's written in your cells. It's written in your blood. Ignorance becomes generational. But we breaking this chain. I'm going to always come in here and try to bring some clarity. I'm not a physician, but I know a lot of shit. I'm just going to share. You know, if it helps you, I'm blessed with that. Just knowing that it may have helped you bring some clarity. Okay, I don't have all the answers, but I do have some stuff that you can go back to your physician and question them about. Like, yo, I just found out. Why don't we have these tests done? Check my hormones, see where they at. My libido's low, so you know the female hormone testosterone may be low. Can we check that? See what's going on? Is there anything we can do? Because if you've had a rich one, you don't want your libido to go dead. It's psychologically traumatizing. When you ask about what happens to a man's penis when it starts to go dead, yeah, I would think it's the same, especially if you have a healthy libido and sex drive and a great partner. So that can be psychologically traumatizing. And it's something we can discuss here as well. You know, just call me Mr. Night. Peace. Welcome. I'm over on YouTube at Kitchen Medicine Cabinet. We're having a clarity session on the female reproductive system. So it's not just for females. Men can learn something too. I'm learning that a lot of you guys know more than some women. So salute to y'all. I'm just saying. If they know something, you should listen. That's all. So by understanding your hormones, listening to your body, reclaiming the knowledge that was stolen, you know, or kept secret, you know, we begin this journey truthfully into womanhood, and help our girls to do the same thing. So a silent transition into the perimenopause. It's crazy. Puberty was the awakening, but perimenopause is the warning bell. Yeah, it whispers. It's a whisper of change your body has been preparing for decades. Like your body's preparing for this. Again, we're not noticing and paying attention. We're overworked, overstressed, burnt out, tired, doing too much and not finding any relief or resolve. So some of it is our fault. You gotta give yourself some grace, slow down a little bit, sit down and be still. But most women never hear it. Most of us are blindsided because nobody taught us to read the signals. You know, once again, ignorance can be generational. The hormone changes, perimenopause, the hormone changes. Progesterone declines first. You bitter, you surly, you in a mood, you unhappy all of a sudden. Your progesterone, it declines first. 36 I was. We had our last child at 38. I was 36 when I first started feeling it. I'm like, yo, something going on. Feeling a little miserable. Like, wow, I'm snappy. I wasn't trying to exhibit the behavior, but I felt it. I'm like, something's wrong. Because I like this dude, you know, and I love my kids. So I was very aware of that. And I let everybody around me know something going on. So, you know, searching. Again, doctors didn't help much. I didn't get any of this, being aware of the progesterone and that it possibly could be low. Some things that you can eat, some teas and herbs that you can have and take. Regimens, just keeping a regular routine, being consistent and healthy will help all of that. So these are the hormonal changes that perimenopause is going to cause. It's going to happen, okay? Estrogen fluctuates. And what you eat affects that horribly, okay? Hot flashes, night sweats, heat spurts, brain fog, memory lapse. Estrogen fluctuates crazy during perimenopause, okay? And if you don't know, it'll make you feel like you're going crazy. And that's a lot of the signs that I've seen, a lot of the posts that I've seen recently. I feel like I'm going crazy. And that hurts me because I absolutely was there. And I know what it is. And just for us to be so unclear of knowing why these things are happening, it's downright shameful to me because, you know, it helps in everything. If the testosterone starts to decline during perimenopause, all these things decline or fluctuate, not in a good way. So when that testosterone starts to decline, libido dips, low energy, and motivation struggles. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. Cortisol and thyroid may go rogue. I have so many sisters with hypothyroidism, any type of thyroidism. Like it's a lot. So the cortisol and the thyroid, it's gonna go rogue for some people, especially if we're not nourishing properly and hydrating our body and getting exercise and getting sun. Your stress response heightens during perimenopause. That stress response heightens during perimenopause, okay? Metabolism slows, so your metabolism is going to slow down and your stress response is going to heighten. Your hormones are having conversations that you don't understand yet. You heard what I said? Your hormones are having conversations that you don't understand yet. But they're speaking constantly, okay? And if you listen, you can anticipate the next chapter of your womanhood instead of being blindsided, because that shit'll smack you in your face, all right? And you'll take everybody down with you. It's not cool, okay? I'm just trying to bring some clarity. These are the symptoms you got to watch for. Watch for irregular periods, too long, too short, or skipped. Perimenopause is coming, okay? I mean, and it's 50 to 70 symptoms. But these are the things to just watch for. Hot flashes in the night, sweats, insomnia, disrupted sleep, the fatigue, low motivation, anxiety, vaginal dryness, decreased libido, like, come on, weight gain, especially around the midsection, brain fog, forgetfulness, emotional swings, irritability. All of these things are in the beginning of perimenopause. So imagine going to the doctor to say all this. They look at you like you're crazy, okay? I'm not a medical professional, but take notes. Take notes so you can have more clarity when you go up in this doctor. There's some blood tests that you can ask for specifically, okay? Your follicle stimulating hormone, that FSH, take notes, FSH, it rises as the ovaries slow down. All of these things should be tested, okay? You got FSH, you got LH, which is the luteinizing hormone that helps detect ovulation decline. You got to see where all these things are, because as you're aging, the ovulation decline is going on. The eggs are gone, like they're depleted. You get to set them out. If they're gone, they're gone. That's what happens. You can't rebuild them. Like, that's not what happens. You have your set of eggs from the time you're in your mother's womb, your mother's womb. Estradiol, E2, measures your estrogen levels. Your progesterone tracks luteal phase. Look these things up, okay? Testosterone free and total. This is going to check your energy, your libido, your muscle tone, see where your levels are. The thyroid panels, this is very important for all my sisters or brothers dealing with thyroid issues, that THS, T3, T4, metabolism, mood, and weight. Okay, if this thyroid is off, it's going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to mimic autoimmune. It's going to mimic all kinds of shit. So, take some notes so you can be clear when you go and ask for these blood tests. Track these labs once a year during perimenopause. Ask your physician about them. This is just your map. This is how you navigate your body rather than being lost in confusion. Okay? But it got to be a lifestyle and self-care change. It really does. Focus on fiber. All right? Phytoestrogens. Flaxseed is your best friend. 2 tablespoons a day. I don't care how you take it. Sprinkle it on your salad. Take shots. Grind it up. Put it in a smoothie. Grind it up. Put it in your coffee. I don't care. Just at least 2 tablespoons is going to help with the regulating of that phytoestrogens. Okay, so you need that fiber. And I don't eat meats. I need that fiber. It's anti-inflammatory foods you need to eat. Look it up. Google what foods are anti-inflammatory and eat those. Okay. Exercise. You don't have to extensive go to the gym. Do it at home. Sit in the chair, sit on the couch, start in your bed. Weight bearing for bone strength, yoga, for hormone balancing. We don't know how to balance ourselves, and be still and take the time out. So you take time for yourself. It's not taking the trip, in my opinion. You can be on a trip and on a plane and on a train or doing all that and still stress the hell out. So, we got to reduce that stress. You have to reduce the stress. Meditation, deep breathing. When you get upset, you're ready to pop off. remembering and learning how to breathe. That was hard for me. So salute to the fasting I did. It definitely had me do that a lot more. So now it's more habit forming to do it. It helps. Journaling, it keeps the cortisol in check. There's little girls every year, birthday, you will always get in a journal. I wonder why. We need it now. Do some journaling so you can reflect, right? Because you're writing what's going on, how you're feeling, and you can always look back and say, well, last year around this time, it was the same kind of cycle. What was I doing? What was I eating more of? So be mindful. Eliminating the symptoms would be eliminating some of the things you're eating. So prioritize paying attention to the things that you're eating. All right. Make sleep a priority. 7 to 9 hours. Melatonin may support, your circadian rhythm. Gotta sleep. Get some rest. As you just tell me, you don't ask to take a nap. Like you just take a nap. I was not a nap taker. But now if I feel it, I'm going to take me a nap. All right, y'all, I'm going to lay down for a little bit. So I had to prioritize doing that. Some of us don't have that ability, but sleep is important, especially at night. Eliminate those before sleep stressors, especially the phone. Computer, like read that warm oat milk or nut milk with a little turmeric if you're fighting inflammation. Pinch of pepper definitely helps. The ignorance has become a crisis now, if you ask me. Perimenopause is not a disease. It's not a disease, lady. It's a biological signal that your body is shifting. Okay, and ignorance has made it a crisis, but knowledge makes it manageable, predictable, and even empowering. Like I feel a little bit more empowered now than I did 2 years ago. The transition to menopause. If perimenopause is the whisper, then menopause is the full-on chorus. Okay? The body has reached a new stage. A whole new stage, okay? Understanding it is critical, okay? Because most women walk into menopause blindfolded, thinking it's just old age. Let's break that illusion. We're gonna break that illusion because it's not fair at all. Menopause is not the end. It's another chapter. It's another chapter of your biology, right? Because society has erased education. Most women think it's the end of their power, sadly. Menopause is defined as 12 consecutive months without a period. Menopause is defined as 12 consecutive months without a period, signaling the end of your fertility. That's what menopause is. And it stops there. That's just that label. Once you're in that change of life, there's no more fertility. We're postmenopausal. So menopause is just signaling that you did not have a menstrual for a full 12 months and you probably won't have one ever again. Some can go 10 months. You can go 11 months in a week and get a period. You got to start all over. And that's very frustrating. Because again, the menstrual symptoms don't stop just because you're aging. Yeah. Okay, where I was. 12 months. What happens next after affects every part of your life, like your bones, your heart, your brain, your mood, energy, and yes, your identity as a woman. Like it affects you. It affects you. Vaginal atrophy is a thing. Vaginal dryness where you can't get inside is a thing. It closing up and shutting down on you is a thing. The already, known symptoms of being a female and the things that come with those monthly things, it increases. So it's more stressful. So the hormonal landscape, the estrogen is low and steady. Symptoms increase, hot flashes, vaginal dryness, mood swings, cognitive changes. Now that can be very stressful. Losing your words, losing your train of thought, forgetting things like spelling things. Yeah. You could be forgetting where you were driving to. Where the hell was I going? So it can be very scary. and not being able to understand why it's happening and to try to change it. Progesterone is nearly gone. So you wonder why the women get old and surly and bitter and just upset because there's such a small, minute amount of progesterone that you have. You know, it's going to cause sleep disruptions, anxiety, fluid retention. These hormones are very important, okay? The female form of testosterone, it'll get low libido, motivation, your muscle mass declines. This is not to scare you, it's to inform you because you can fight this by eating healthy, getting the nutrients that your body needs, eating all those greens, being active and, staying active in your mind and not just your body, drawing, being creative, using your hands, doing different things. It's important. So the cortisol, it may increase due to the stress of aging, sleep disruption. So cortisol is going up and everything else is going down. That's crazy. It's going to throw the organs off. It's going to cause a lot of issues. The thyroid, monitor as symptoms mimic menopause. It could be a thyroid issue and it mimics menopause. So you have to know, you have to pay attention to your body, the symptoms and the challenges, hot flashes and night sweats, sleep difficulties, sexual discomfort, urinary issues, vaginal dryness, bone density loss, osteoporosis, risk, cardiovascular changes, heart health declines. Have to be mindful of these things. Heart health declines. Pay attention to your body. Weight gain, because the metabolism has slowed. Metabolism, it's slow. That's what happens to the body, okay? So it's going to increase the belly fat. Brain fog, memory challenges, emotional fluctuations, anxiety, mild depression. It's all a lot of the symptoms. All of these symptoms are biological. They're not in your head. They're not weaknesses. They're not signals. They are the signals of shifting hormone landscape. And the more you understand them, the more power you can regain. Postmenopause is where I'm at. Hormones stabilize at low levels. Okay, the more you eat, more teas, the things that you can ingest will help that. The heart risks shift, heart disease, osteoporosis, metabolic changes. Many women are living 30 to 40 years in postmenopause. So yes, society ignores this stage. Like you're living 30 to 40 years. If you live to 70, 80 years old, you're living 30, 40 years in postmenopause. It's ignored. Yeah. Hysterectomy and surgical menopause. It's been an epidemic of unnecessary hysterectomies. Having 3 daughters, I definitely don't want them to do what I had to do. I had full-on endometriosis, fibrosis, and adenomyosis. So there's a lot going on up in there. So we had a high risk of cervical cancer. So we had to take it all out. But there is an epidemic of unnecessary hysterectomies. Girls as young as 22 are having them due to just cycle pains. And that's horrible that doctors are allowing it instead of finding holistic ways to balance that. They're not taught nutrition, simply. They're not taught nutrition, so pay attention. The consequences, abrupt menopause, me, surgical, 46, took it all, ovaries, everything, tubes, cervix, gotta go. Consequences, abrupt menopause. Body wasn't ready, didn't prepare for it. It wasn't ready. Bone loss, instant, felt it instantly. Heart risks, I knew I was gonna do it. So I had a stress test, my heart evaluated with a cardiologist before I did it, just so we have a before and an after. Even if it's 5 years, we can see if there was a progression. My heart was wonderful and in great condition before. So just to have that, it's my body. Can't compare my heart to somebody else's heart, right? So very important. The psychological impact, crazy. I had to get a therapist and he was great. So salute to you, sir. Why women get cut too early, medical convenience, misinformation, and societal pressure. Don't let them cut you. Okay, look for some info. Hopefully you'll come across my feed. I share a lot about it. Process. Had to fight. Just saying. So how to prevent second opinions. Should have got a second opinion and didn't. Hormone testing, didn't do that either. Lifestyle interventions, some things I definitely could have changed, especially the eating. But again, I wasn't taught how to eat, so I had to learn how to eat properly. Blood panels and testing recommendations. Get a notepad, write these down. You want to test the FSH and the LH to confirm menopause or just how it looks, because it'll let you know close to. All right. Estradiol, it monitors the blood and heart health. All right. Progesterone, it checks if your cycles still exist. And the female form testosterone, it'll test the energy, libido, and the mood. Your thyroid and cortisol, have it tested. Supports the metabolic and the stress balance. Have it tested. If you don't understand, ask them to send you to a endocrinologist so they can give you more clarity, okay? And probably some tips and strategies and some paperwork on how to help try to balance that instead of popping pills. Vitamin D, please check this. Calcium, bone health. Most people are lacking because we don't get enough sun. So just get in the sun. Can't have too much sun, especially as melanated people. All right? Caucasian people, I think y'all need at least what? It depends on where you are too. 45 minutes. Make sure you put on sunscreen not to burn yourself. All right? Lifestyle and self-care and menopause and postmenopause. Nutrition. You need the nutrition. You need the nutrition. We need the nutrition. Calcium, magnesium, phytoestrogens, anti-inflammatory foods. Gotta exercise. Weight bearing, resistance, walking, yoga. Sleep, please sleep. Melatonin, I wouldn't suggest it. So find some herbal teas, or again, like the golden milk that I stated, will help to regulate. You know, back in the day, they had the old wives' tale to warm milk will help you sleep. It's true. Not the cow milk, though, because you can do nut milk, you can do oat milk, all is the same. Warm, sip it. Dark rooms, block out all the light. Your body absolutely gets disrupted with light. So even lights from the clock, TV on, shit like that. Gotta block out all the light. And keep a consistent schedule when it comes to sleep. Stress management, meditation, mindfulness, community support, all wonderful things to release stress. Hugs, 20-second hugs if somebody's around. You enjoy a coworker and you don't have anybody to hug at home, like, tell them I need to release my cortisol. So can you hug me for 20 seconds and go from there? I'm just saying. I've done it. Medical partnerships, the endocrinologist, man. Make them your partner. They like solving puzzles, most of them. So be mindful of your selection. Or a functional medicine physician for hormone management. Okay? Menopause is not a disease. Again, I'm going to say that. Postmenopause is not a decline. They are stages of biology that demand respect and knowledge. Ignorance made them cries. Like, that's why we're crying out. It's the ignorance we don't know. Education makes them empowerment, you know? So if you listen to your body, follow the blueprint, and take action, you can thrive in ways that the world never taught you to imagine. Okay? It hurts me to see so many of us in just so much distress. So if you thought ignorance started with you, think again. It does become generational. And for decades, we paid the price. You know, not out of malice, but out of the silence. The shame and the fear. Mothers didn't teach. Grandmothers whispered secrets. Schools never taught us the truth, and the world exploited that void. Because look at the women today. What's getting shown in our society? And most of us don't act like that or live like that. So that generational silence, we need to work on. I'm loud. I ain't never been silent. So we ain't doing all of that over here. Girls were shamed because of the curiosity of their bodies, and that's not okay. You a girl. You should know. How curious. You should know you was a girl before. I don't know. I was very curious. Hey, Gina Waters. Good to see you, sis. Over on YouTube at Kitchen Medicine Cabinet, sharing, some clarity to the whole female biology. Started from, birth in the early years, the different hormones, 7 hormones that we have that we're not really taught just estrogen and progesterone, but you have prolactin, you have the cortisol, melatonin, you have the female form of testosterone, all of these affect us. So I gave a little clarity session over here. If you want to come over, hit that like button. Let somebody know the information is here. I hope it just helps. I think it's just the understanding what your body is doing, and we can learn how to manage it if we're aware. I wish I would have known then what I know now, because I probably wouldn't have had a hysterectomy. I would have tried at least a year of herbal consistent therapy and changing my lifestyle to see if I would have had some relief, some change, or whatever. But again, the ignorance was bliss, and I wanted instant gratification, instant relief. So, I'm here. So I want to share, because I don't want any younger people to go through this. Your body is supposed to go through this naturally and gradually, and I put my body in shock. It's like getting hit by a Mack truck. I'm just saying. Hey guys. Hey 18, good to see you. Yeah, it was a good session today. Just a clarity session, female biology. Talked about the different hormones that that has been hidden from us. Like we had 4 kids go through school, graduated public school, great honors and all that. Were really involved parents, and they didn't get this type of home ec or sex ed or whatever you want to call it in school. So being that we homeschooled the last kid, had to make this information very filled with a lot of context, so they understand how the body works, how things are happening, and biologically, ladies, it's gonna happen. So the better prepared you are, the more you know that your body is doing this and why it's doing it, and how you can manage those hormones or balance them so you don't have as many effects. That's why I'm here. Yep. The eating. Gotta eat properly, y'all. So I had a couple of sessions about nutrition and, minerals and vitamins, because, again, we weren't taught how to eat properly in the kitchen. So we're so, far into obesity and illness and, unhealthy ways that it's hard to reclaim the mindset of the village and eating to live. So I opened this channel just for that. We can have fun and eat to live and all of that. The other day I made mushrooms, fried it like chicken, and I took the yucca root potato, boiled it, and cut it up and fried it like French fries. So I got a lot of nutrients and something that I mimicked of just having that regular habit of chicken and French fries. That was my go-to. Lots of salad, lots of greens. So the greens help balance your vital estrogens. Okay, and fiber. Poor eating habits passed down really is. The generational staples of fried foods, the excess sugar, the processed grains, canned foods. Consequences: obesity, insulin resistance, hormone disruption, fertility issues. Food is not what our grandparents ate. It's not the same. The lack of fiber in all the food. I don't care if it says fiber. If it came through the FDA, it probably don't have any fiber in it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, be mindful. So the lack of fiber, it impacts the estrogen clearance. Like the estrogen is not clearing. I was estrogen dominant. That's why the endometriosis was flowing so much, too much estrogen, because of all the stuff I was eating. Even though I'm skinny, I was still eating sugar, the process, processed bread and the pastas and the box foods. It's all processed. It's way too much, and it's disrupting the hormones, ladies. All of it, canned, box, the whole inside a part of the grocery store. Okay, so that lack of fiber impacts the estrogen clearance, digestion. Lack of fiber is going to affect your digestion, your hormone balance. If there's high salt, which most of us do, low mineral diets, high salt, low minerals. Eating mad salt, but not filling your body with any type of minerals. I'm 42 years old and hit early menopause. I was 36. I'm 49 and had a total hysterectomy at 46. So I'm postmenopausal now. So sending you some love and light, honey. Early menopause. Did you go the full 12 months without a menstrual yet? If so, then that means you're in menopause. But until then, you will just be in you're premenopausal. And the symptoms are crazy. But you can balance. So if you like what you're hearing, go to my page, Kitchen Medicine Cabinet, and subscribe. We're in the kitchen most of the time. I make juices. I give a lot of clarity to what has helped with a lot of these symptoms. It's not a one size fits all, but there are some things that we can do. Okay. And I just want to give you the information to help, because feeling like you're going crazy, it could ruin your family. It could ruin your kids. Like, you wonder why we bitter and surly. 4 months now with no period. Okay, don't get your hopes up, because there's some who wind up having it. You can go 10 months and then shit'll come. So then the doctor will tell you, nope, you got to start all over again. Even if it come down for one day, you starting all over. Your clock starts again, and it's very traumatizing, because especially if you started your period at 13, you done had it for 30 years. That's a long time. Your body needs it. We don't want to rush for it to happen. You definitely want your body to go through it. But some women can go through that right there for years. For years. So just be mindful. Don't let it stress you out. Okay? Check my page for some of the recipes that we put together, to keep the symptoms down, because it's no joke. I absolutely send love and light to anyone going through the perimenopause. And it seems like our girls are going through it even earlier, younger than the 36, where it really is supposed to be starting around 35, 36. It's happening much sooner when it shouldn't. So it's saying a lot about what we're taking into our body, okay? So that lack of fiber can impact that estrogen clearance. I'm not a physician, okay? Do your research, take some notes, and ask your physician if what I'm telling you is the truth. Okay, it's a lot of books out there, a lot of info. High salt and low mineral diets, blood pressure. Your blood pressure, you're gonna have issues. Okay, the adrenal stress, you're gonna have issues. It's gonna happen, and we want to fight against that. Okay, because the more you're stressed, the more your blood pressure rises. Guess what it's doing to your heart? You can get scarring on your heart. Young people having heart attacks. We got to get this intact, okay? I'm all about village and reclaiming the mindset, okay? Just nourishment. That's all I want to teach. Take what you need, throw the rest away. Take what can help you and build your body back up. And don't worry about the rest of that shit. If you're allergic to coconut oil, then don't use it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You know your body. Pay attention to it so you can give it the fighting chance. Because I tell you, when it start going through them changes, I got a good family, and I'm telling you, there was times I stood at that door and wanted to run away. Run away from what? From who? From where? I just felt like fight and flight. And that was for me to run. That's crazy. Whew. So I just want to share, I'll be very transparent. Ain't no shame in my game. So there's shame around food, body, and sexuality. You eat like a rabbit. Stop shaming me for eating like a rabbit. It's keeping me healthy. The stress is normalized. We normalize stress. We got big posters in Baltimore that say anxiety. It's not like, say, prevent anxiety or stop anxiety or any of that. It's like, yeah, let's celebrate. Bitch, I'm anxious. I'm not for that. We not for that shit. Okay? Stress has been normalized. It is not normal. Busy over healthy is not normal. Work over rest it's not normal. Performance over balance, it's not normal. And your body is going to talk to you. Oh, it's going to talk to you loud. It's going to scream. It might shut down on you without you even noticing anything. So the consequences, all right? Adrenal fatigue, cortisol spikes, metabolic dysfunction, and hormonal imbalance, okay? How poor habits affect your hormones. How poor habits affect your hormones, your estrogen. Excess body fat stores estrogen. So gentlemen, you too. Extra body fat stores estrogen. You have way more estrogen than what your male body is supposed to have. So do you not think you're going to have some of those symptoms that women have? I mean, the hot flashes, the heat spurts, the mood changes. Gentlemen, excess body fat. It stores estrogen. right? Leading to PMS, it leads to fibroids, it leads to mood swings. Poor habits affect your hormones, okay? Progesterone, it drops faster under chronic stress or poor nutrition. You're going to be bitter and unhappy and surly and, just got a chip on your shoulder. I'm just mad because of everything in life, blah, 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 blah. That's your progesterone. A lot of people don't have it. It's low, then dropped. Not eating things and not drinking the teas that have the nutrients your body needs in it. Okay, so it drops faster under chronic stress and or poor nutrition. The female form testosterone, low with sugar-heavy diets. So if you wonder why your libido is low, stop eating that much fucking sugar. Okay? Sugar-heavy diets. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Testosterone, cortisol, thyroid, estrogen. None of them work well with it. It's going to mess it up. All right? So the female form testosterone, it will be low with those sugar-heavy diets and a high cortisol, a lack of protein and exercise. Okay? Poor habits affect your hormones. Cortisol, chronically elevated with stress, sugar, and a lack of sleep. Poor habits that affect your hormones, thyroid and insulin, disrupted by poor diet and inactivity. Oh, my thyroid, poor diet. And what's crazy is some of us think we're eating healthy. I thought I was eating healthy. You go to the doctor, oh yeah, I'm healthy as hell. I'm healthy. I thought I was eating healthy. Most people who know me like, yo, you eating healthy? Yeah, thought I was. Wasn't eating enough. I wasn't getting the things that my body needed. Okay? Empty fats, empty proteins, empty minerals. Things was not, And I've had to pay attention to it. If not, I would have been on every type of mineral and vitamin and popping pills to get my nutrients. And that's not something I ever wanted to do. I did it for a little bit. When I started to learn, I started to eliminate those things. Okay, I'm eating more of this. So I don't need that. I can't wait to see my endocrinologist in January. We're gonna have a report about that. Okay, we're gonna see where it's gotten from where I was. Very nutrient deficient, especially due to the total hysterectomy. So you're not told that instant, right? So that thyroid and the insulin, this is absolutely disrupted by the poor diet and the inactivity. So you got to move around. Okay, put some music on in the house and jump around. That's all I'm saying. The lifestyle and nutrition recommendations that I would suggest or give to anyone, eat real whole foods. It's not just going to Whole Foods, man. Find your local pantries. Find your local gardens. Find these places. Most of their food is grown, and when you see it, it's not coming in a manufacturer or a truck. Okay, so eat real whole foods if you can get them. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, healthy fats. I did a whole session about nutrition and we talked about healthy fats, healthy carbs, healthy protein, the things that you can eat and the things that you should stay away from. So Kitchen Medicine Cabinet, go check it out. And, check that stream out, take some notes. Because again, a lot of us were not taught how to eat. Okay? Eat to live. So another suggestion would be balance your protein. Balance your protein and carbs for stable insulin of energy. You want to stabilize that insulin and energy, balance your protein and your carbs. Healthy protein, healthy carbs, not empty carbs. Any of those box stuff, don't eat it. Hydration. None of us are not drinking enough water. And if the water is not hydrating you, drink some coconut water. Add some herbs to your water. This is just a dried okra, and it's in water. It's been soaking overnight. Well, from last night, I put it in last night. So a glass of this in the morning. You get A, C, K, and E. God, what else? But of course, it's all anti-inflammatory. It has a lot of the mucilage. It gets rid of the mucilage in the body. It helps to bring those joints where it's dry and your joints are rubbing. It's supposed to help to do that as well. So it's a lot of hydration in there for the body. 64 ounces of water daily. Herbal teas for hormones throughout the day. Drink lots. Exercise, like weight bearing. You can do it sitting. Resistance training. Put something on the door and have a little resistance. But you got to have something. You got water bottles, anything. Just to give you a little, it's not about the speed or burning calories. It's not about that, okay? Because if your female form of testosterone is low, you're losing muscle mass. You're losing muscle mass. This is how we increase that. Water, hydrate the body, and resistance training, walking and yoga, walk in the house. We got 3 stories, so I'm going up the steps, and I have to slow it down because if I go too fast, like I can't get up that 3rd story. It's crazy. Sleep 7 to 9 hours, consistent schedule, reduce the blue light, reduce the blue light, reduce the blue light. Stress management by meditation, journaling, and deep breathing. Supplements if necessary. If necessary. Magnesium, you need it. You need it to sleep. They have magnesium sprays, and there's different types of magnesium. We need to go over that because there's different types of magnesium that do different things. So do a little research on magnesium and which one works best for you. Vitamin D, B complex, and omega-3s. These are the supplements that I would suggest if you needed to take anything. It's hard to get the omega-3s if you don't eat a lot of fish and certain things because I really don't eat some things. So I eat a lot of nuts and seeds and stuff. So your body is a reflection of your lifestyle, your diet, your mindset, and your culture. It is. Some of the ignorance has been passed down. Sorry. But knowledge passed forward heals. That's what I'm for. Knowledge passed forward heals. Okay? The food you eat, the sleep you get, the stress you manage, they all dictate whether your hormones thrive or, falter. And this matters at every stage, right? From puberty to postmenopause. It really does matter, okay? Don't want to see us so stressed out. It's going to be hard for our society to thrive if our women are falling apart. Huh? Really will be. So we're not powerless. Just want to give y'all little affirmations. We're not powerless. We inherit the mistakes of the past, right? But we can rewrite the blueprint. My husband has always been about that. We had a poor blueprint of what family was and parents and just all of it. So we had to create our own blueprint. We had a blueprint of what not to do. So we kind of took that and ran with it. We inherit a lot of stuff, even stress, so let's try to inherit better habits like eating well, moving around daily, managing that stress and listening to our bodies so we can restore the hormones harmony, because there is a harmony and we can all get there. It's going to be a different route for all of us, but we definitely all want the same destination. Right? It's not magic. It is biology, and biology never lies. So just wanted to bring a little clarity to everyone, And that's it for the day, y'all. It is Friday. I hope y'all have a good weekend. We are going to New York City to go pick up my kitty cat. You want to get a kitty cat? I'm trying to get 2. So, hubby, if you're watching this, I'm trying to get 2 kitties so they can have a friend, right? So they can have a buddy. 2 boys. We get 2 boys. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Y'all want to ride with us to New York? You want to ride with us to New York? I'll take y'all. I'm just saying. Need some dope conversations in the car. We was going to take the kids, but they're not coming. Nope. Baby sister going to be with big sister. And other big sister got something going on. So maybe y'all ride with us. Okay, if you want to join, hit that notification bell so you are not to miss us when we go live. Okay. Appreciate y'all chilling with us. I'm about to finish this, and I'll have a cup of that with my dinner. I will. We're gonna try that out. Definitely gonna go live with y'all. See about these okra medicinal. It's beautiful. They're huge. It's crazy. So, sister, I appreciate you. Y'all go over and check out Who Knows Bar and Lounge, Baltimore. We love it over there. It's our cheers. So, salute to Bow. See y'all soon. All right, the Tribe Called Harris. I appreciate y'all pulling up and popping in. If you want to leave a donation after we done, feel free. All right, y'all know where it goes. It goes to the homeschool. It goes to the tribe. It goes to the community. Because it's a tribe vibe, right? Appreciate y'all. See y'all on the notification bell. All right, make sure you hit it. so you don't miss us. Peace. And for my group, I appreciate y'all pulling up and popping in with me today with my shiny forehead. Y'all see the way that light beams on that forehead. I love it. I'm just saying, I got shamed for it when I was young, but now it is what it is. It ain't going nowhere. Just like the biology of womanhood. All right, it's here and it's clear. I hope I've given some clarity today. I hope it helps you. I hope you took notes on the hormonal test panels to suggest, ask your doctor, your OB, your endocrinologist to have tested just to see where you are. And I wish you well. All right, peace.